Juventus and Sarri were a couple that never made sense, in my opinion, from the summer. Sarri is gone. I don't think that he'll last the end of the season.
Listen. Hey, good evening, everybody, or good morning, everybody, wherever you are. If you are in Australia, if you are in Singapore, if you are in Mexico, whatever your time is, okay? Before you even starting with the podcast, just go rate the podcast with 5 stars, and then from there, just go straight to the shop, ItalianFootballTV.com, and then you can listen to us.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie audio experience with IFTV. We decided to cut the dead weight and only keep the best of the best on this podcast. Those were Antonio's words. That's how he told me to
What do you mean?
intro it.
What do you mean the dead weight? Peter and your father?
He's
Yeah,
quoting
you know.
you, though. You're the one that said this before.
Guys, those guys are liars, okay? The same way they lie about my AC Milan team, they're lying about that. I mean, I don't like both of them, don't get me wrong, but then I never call them dead weight. I call them worse, but not dead weight.
So we actually just got back from a nice little dinner dance for the Viareggio team that IFTV is sponsoring, that we have our cultural brand that's going to be part of the jerseys. I like how you guys are both mad. We all had suits on right before, so we just threw on some culture shirts.
The thing is, I asked Antonio, what are you wearing? So I made sure I wore the same thing as Antonio. Because we're both
It looks like
Milanisti brothers.
father and son right there.
Well, I don't know about this guy here. You know, bottom line is I was so uncomfortable in the suit because I'm not a suit guy. This is my suit, okay? My wife, she says to me, what's with you? You go to sleep with your culture shirt. You wake up in the culture shirt. You go to work with the culture shirt. I said, what, you got a problem? I said, at least I'm on a plane. Says, well, I'm not sure about that. So,
Your one only love, right? Your true love culture, right?
I wore those shirts to death.
As long as you wash them.
Well,
a little Febreze.
I don't know about that.
A little Febreze.
I don't wash them. It's my wife that washes them.
okay.
So
All right, so you can't.
because I don't even know if I put the washing. I don't know to put the washing machine on. To be
He probably
honest.
puts it in the dishwasher.
Thanks, Mike.
I do the same thing, don't worry.
Guys, if you want to help support IFTV, ItalianFootballTV.com, get yourself a culture shirt. We got some new stuff coming real soon.
Oh, I like all the stuff that you guys displayed over there.
It's nice, right?
Nice.
Yeah, they're gonna look good in Italy next week, guys. This is gonna be a strange podcast. We didn't have a lot of games because of this coronavirus. Really screwed everything up. We were at, like I said, this dinner dance with a lot of Italians. Everybody already screaming at each other. There was the Juventus fans on one side and the Inter fans on the other, all screaming at each other.
There was one Greek, actually. There's a guy that we know, and
you were just looking in the mirror.
It was Rosario. Rosario was like, "Oh, Michael, there's actually one Greek person, half Greek." So I was like, "Okay, this is the only other person." I thought I was.
Was he a flipper too?
He was. No, it was a she. I think it was someone's wife or something. But half Greek, I was like, "Okay, good. That's good enough," you know.
So
I was happy about
all
that.
the fans were fighting. I was even at a party last night too, and the talk of the town was all about Inter against Juventus, Juventus against Inter, which we thought we were going to have this podcast where everybody would have been on this podcast if Juventus versus Inter,
sure.
the Derby d'Italia, was played on Sunday. And it ended up getting canceled due to the coronavirus.
A day before.
What was the initial ruling was that a bunch of the games, Mike, give me the check exactly which games were canceled.
AC Milan with Genova was canceled too.
There's a bunch of them. Michael will read it off. But the big one was Juventus-Inter, which was a talk. All these matches were supposed to be played behind closed doors with no fans. And it was later decided through debate and arguments, which we're going to get into, everybody fighting, that they did not play the matches. It was said that Juventus wanted the match to be pushed to Monday, to tomorrow, where fans would have been allowed. Inter did not want... they wanted the match to be played on the day that it was supposed to be played on.
For no fans, right? With no fans.
With no fans. And they ended up moving the match till May 13th, I believe. Wow. And we'll read the entire schedule of all the games being postponed. They did not want to postpone this game at first because the schedule in May gets really hectic. Lazio played their game. Lazio won their game. So they're technically in first place with Juventus down one game.
Forget
and
about
down
technically.
down two.
They are on first place. End of the story.
I just wanted to make it clear.
I think what's going on is they try to rig this whole Serie A to skew it to Inter. I think Inter, even though they've been complaining, I think Inter is getting some sort of advantage, even though they said, oh, no, we have so many games. Nah, what disadvantage?
Well,
Peter and the Inter fans feel like they've gotten the biggest disadvantage of this because their matches at the end of May, which might get the schedule that we made and read off all the matches in May, they will, if they continue in the Europa League, let's say they go to the Europa League semifinals and finals, between that, the Coppa Italia, which they're still technically in, and the Serie A, they have so many games in the same amount of time. And even Juventus, if they end up going to Champions League, where if you look at Lazio's schedule, it's a lot easier in May.
Well, isn't Conte the best coach of the Serie A?
First, let me say the games that have been postponed.
Yeah.
So it's been Juve, Inter that we talked about, Milan, Genoa, Parma, Spal, Sassuolo, Brescia, and Udinese, Fiorentina. They're all supposed to be played and now been postponed the day before.
Read off May's games.
May's games for Inter. So it's May 13th, they will be playing Juventus. May 17th, they will be playing Napoli. May 20th, possible Coppa Italia final if they do get past Napoli.
But I know they're down 1-0, right?
Down 1-0. But I'm saying if they go through, you know. And May 24th, they're playing Atalanta. So the span of 11
and you didn't even read
days,
the Europa League.
Then Europa League, I think it's
in there somewhere. Check the schedule that we have. We made the schedule. So they have a lot of games.
So Europa League final May 27th if they do match.
And there's a semifinal too. You didn't read the semifinal.
Yeah.
There's a semifinal in between those matches. If they go through, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. So obviously
May 7th earlier.
Inter fans feel very hard done by this. They feel like it's not right that Juventus got to push the game back. They wanted the match to be played behind closed doors. Juventus feel like some Juventus fans are not happy because they didn't want the matches in May, because then at the end of May, you might have Champions League, you might have Coppa Italia, you might have all these things. They wanted the match on Monday with their fans.
I think you're wrong. I'll tell you the reasons why.
I didn't say my opinion.
No.
I just said with the sentiment. I'm reading comments.
It's not Inter fans and Juventus fans. It's Inter management. Conte and Marotta.
Them too.
And Juventus management.
Them too, yes.
Somehow they trying to push the blame. It says it's the fans, it's not the fans.
Do you want me to read the
whatever
quote?
they say over there, it's not really, it's just you have to read the mind. Let's blame it on the fans. So
I'm not blaming it on the fans. I was just saying the sentiment.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Okay, tell me.
I think Conte is trying to already starting to find an excuse for himself. I said, you see, they screw us up. This is reasons why we're not winning.
Conte didn't say anything though.
Well, let me tell you something. That guy is very, very, very clever when it comes down to shift down the blame to somebody. Okay? So now it's gonna say they crowded us our schedule just because they don't want us to win. Okay, if you have the team, if you have the talent, if you spend all that kind of money, just leave it on the floor. Forget about all of this trash talk. So let the players do what they're capable to do. They're getting paid. Hey, pay me what they're getting paid to play 10 games a day. I'll play.
I'll play.
Okay?
Let me read what...
they're crying because they're going to be playing. If you're not good enough, then get out.
Well, it's...
Every 3 days is okay. You have good enough, plenty of time for you to recoup.
Well, Serie's president also said that it's very normal in the Premier League to play the amount of games that Inter would have to play or Juventus would have to play. Marotta, who's Inter's CEO, said Serie made a mistake postponing the game. He said the league is distorted now, falsato. He said the league made a decision without asking anybody. And then Serie's president, in response, said, on Friday, we proposed to Inter to move the match on Monday with fans, but Inter refused. Let's not talk about distorted league.
Okay. Well, what is this? What is this answer? Why don't
He said it wasn't right because they already had decided, and you can't say the day before to move the match.
I mean, I definitely get that. Listen, as a team, I'm just trying to see both ways. You've been training. Mind you, that Inter hasn't played a game in 2 weeks, so they've been training.
They played Europa League.
No, I'm saying in Serie A.
Okay, you said they didn't play a game in 2 weeks. They played on Thursday.
Sampdoria, their thing got postponed also.
They played on Thursday.
So these things are going to be postponed, and they've been working on they knew that it was going to be that Sunday or whatever. Then to do it such short notice, I feel like it is annoying. I'm not saying it's against Inter or something, but I feel like it needs to be better organized in a way. Instead of, I don't think it's right to call it the day before when you already put it. It's not as if they were gonna do it the day after if it wasn't. So might as well kept it that day instead of changing everything.
The short notice applies to both teams.
I'm not saying
what is this crying, baby crying over here? Just bring a bunch of lollipops or pacifiers to those people and say, hey, you're here to play soccer, not to cry. We don't need baby crying over here. Okay, just play. If you want to play, you play. If you don't want to play, just go to court, or just fight, or just take the loss. It's either you play or you don't play. This is all 1 day before, 2 days after. Just play the game.
I'll give my opinion.
Give me a break, man.
I think that there needs to be a little bit more of a balance mindset in this. I think that every fan wants to look at this and say, oh my God, we got screwed. Oh my God, we got screwed. If you talk to the Inter fans, they say we got screwed. If you talk to the Juve fans, they say we got screwed. If you talk to the Lazio fans, they say we got screwed. Even Lecce fans, they were saying that they got screwed out of this. So everyone has their opinion, and I think that everybody's right and justified in feeling their opinion. I think for the league in itself, they don't want the most important game of the season played with no fans. They don't want Juventus Inter played with no fans. Should it have been? Maybe. Maybe it should have been. Juventus also don't want to. There's a lot of revenue lost without fans. They wanted to move it to the next day. In my opinion, I thought the best balance would have been playing it on a Monday with the fans. But I understand Inter's perspective to want to play it on that Sunday with no fans. And I think for Juve, I think a lot of people are thinking that this favors Juve, but I don't agree that it favors Juve. I think that Inter played the first match with their fans, and I think it would be a big detriment for Juve playing that match without their fans. So I thought Monday would have been a good compromise. I know there's Coppa Italia, but Juve were still willing to play. Juve have to play Milan on Wednesday, Coppa Italia.
Coppa Italia, yeah.
Inter don't play their Coppa Italia match until Thursday.
Are we still playing?
As of now, yes.
So what they're going to do? They're going to take the temperature of every spectator coming inside of the
field? They did that for Atalanta's game.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, let me just finish with the last thing.
God.
I don't think that Juve is that favored in this because I don't like the idea of playing those games in May. I mean, yes, it makes it intense and makes it exciting, but Juve could potentially be in 3 competitions with Lazio having this advantage of having one game in hand until the end of May. No, I'm not. I'm just
exactly the same, baby.
No.
I'm not
right
now.
I think the best thing. I think for Lazio is good. I think for Lazio is good that they didn't have to play this game because now they're technically in first place, and that's a great mental edge, and they still have that game in hand. Okay. But overall, I think that people have taken this to the next level. Everyone wants to say that this thing is corrupt, this is this. Guys, we have to see the situation for what it is. Everybody has a perspective. And if we can't put ourselves in the shoes of another team and seeing that not everybody was won in this, there's a lot of losses overall. I get it. It sucks. I hate it.
Listen, I think
it didn't feel like Sunday today.
All of those top teams that they think they're contending for the titles of the Coppa Italia or whatever you call it, I think they are starting to build up the talking points for the variety of your complaints they're going to come and spew out when the S is going to hit the fan, because it's going to happen at some point in May. We're going to see it, and then going to say once some of those major teams is going to start to lose because
say, oh my God,
you see, I told you, because we have too many games, and because they did it intentionally to us, and they did all the stuff. Meanwhile, nobody from AC Milan is complaining. I don't know why you're laughing. Okay,
what's gonna?
Why would they complain? We're contending for the European League, for the Euro. We're trying to get in Euro. What about the champions? We can still get into the champions.
Now you're getting crazy.
So you know what? I'll tell you what is going to happen. What is going to happen is, you know what the key of all of this situation is going to be? Everybody's going to go through Atalanta. If Atalanta wins some of the games against those major contenders, either Lazio, Juventus, or Inter, whoever loses against Atalanta, I think is done with winning the major competition.
There's still time.
That's not that much time. Not that much time. I don't think so.
Anyway, it's not a great idea. We are not experts at how to contain a virus. We don't know by bringing fans, by not bringing fans. We don't have any information on how it is. The only thing that we could say is give our comments on the way that our cards were dealt.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think that everybody needs to look at the situation with balance, because Inter fans, like I said, they want to feel like they're hard done. Juve fans, they feel like they're hard done. Lazio fans, everybody feels like they're hard done in a way.
There is no crime soccer. There is no crime soccer.
Everybody is a little hard done. It sucks. It's a situation that we can't plan for. But it is what it is, and it's going to make May so exciting.
May's going to be crazy,
That Juventus-Inter match is going to be on fire.
Anto, pack your bags. We're going or what?
Hey,
he doesn't even care.
I'm ready to go on any time. But to be honest with you, all of this hype...
Well, you're not feeling it?
Nah,
not yet.
Not yet.
I can't even sit in this chair without shaking. I'm getting so excited for this game.
I think it's kind of unprofessional for major teams like Juventus, Inter, or Lazio, or whoever is complaining about this 1 year.
Juventus didn't complain. Yeah, they just didn't want to play behiand closed doors. They wanted to play on Monday.
For somebody to be complaining, okay, Juventus, we know it's about money. So
yeah, it is.
So I said, hey, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to fill up the stadium over there, the Allianz Stadium. Why shouldn't you complaining about money? Yeah. Plus, my understanding is that they didn't want to refund
Yeah, apparently that was
I mean, why? But what is this stuff here?
They wanted to find a solution so that they didn't have to refund. Basically playing another day.
In other words,
playing a separate day.
I see. Or
playing a
play
separate
or
day.
blame the leaguers. That is not our fault. I mean,
Yeah.
there is no provision on the ticket that says that if the game is not playing for some sort of calamity, we're not responsible to refund you.
Well, that was the thing. The law says that if it was some kind of virus, something out of their control, that they don't technically have to refund it.
it.
But whatever. It's water underneath the
But
bridge at this point.
it would have been a big advantage for Inter if they played in an empty Allianz Stadium.
But yeah,
so
you see, that's what
the
I'm
thing.
saying. Like, it
Yeah.
would have been such a big advantage, and then a
Yeah,
disadvantage.
that's
You know,
true.
for Inter. If
Yeah.
you, they,
Advantage
they played
if
with
it was
no-
empty.
with no
Yeah,
fan.
100%. So,
So, you
but
know
at the same
what?
time, it's like, all right, games were already
the
played
thing
behind
is,
closed
that's
doors.
why I feel
so
like
it should
Inter.
have been.
That's why Inter was getting mad that
Yeah, of
they
course.
didn't do it. So
as much as I love
Which is
Inter, guys,
normal.
as much as I love Inter, I really don't feel sorry for them. Neither for Juventus, don't get me wrong. But if I really got to choose between the two of them, I will pick up the Juventus because
how about Lazio?
Lazio, of course, Lazio first.
He was saying
No, but
between the
what,
two.
yeah,
If
I
I had
know,
to pick
I
up between the two of them, I'll pick up Juventus.
Yeah.
Not because I like Juventus, but
Before
Broken record.
it's a lesser than the two evils for me because I don't like
don't like
Conte's
Inter.
Not because I like Sarri. I think Sarri is, don't make me say something else about him.
But I just
Sarri-
like him a little bit more than the
No, I
rest, right?
don't like him. I just don't
Okay.
like him at all. But
Okay.
I hate Conte. Not, I mean, I if I,
yeah, you
if
rejected
I see
everything that
Conte
you
on the
said.
street, I will hug him. I will give him. I'll shake his hands and all the stuff.
You
but
may
I
kiss?
I don't agree with his attitude, with his soccer attitude, and I don't agree with his complaining about something. You know, it's something. He's always
passionate.
No, what passionate? That guy's always an epic about something. Okay?
We do have some games to comment on. Thankfully, there were still a couple games. Atalanta ran absolute riot against Lecce. They went up 2-0. This was such an exciting match. They went up 2-0. Lecce came back 2-2. And we know Lecce is a team that tied Juventus, that tied Inter. They caused a lot of the big teams
AC
trouble.
Milan too.
Yeah.
Did they beat Napoli?
They
They
beat
did.
Napoli.
They beat
yes,
Napoli.
yeah,
In
they beat
Naples.
Napoli. That's right.
So they're a team that caused a lot of teams trouble. They ended up scoring 5 goals in the second half to win 7-2. It's the third game this season that Atalanta scored 7 goals. I believe that since the 1958 AC Milan team, no team has scored more than at least 5 goals more times than Atalanta this season.
It's insane.
This team is a mess. Michael even texted me. He's like, they were up by 3 goals, and Gasparini put in 2 strikers to keep
It
going.
was crazy. He brought in Muriel and Malinovsky.
It's absolute masterclass.
You know what? At some point, you tell yourself, I said, hey, when you gonna, tell your player to
Chill
just
out,
take it
right?
easy?
No,
you
he
know?
doesn't. He doesn't.
Atalanta has at least 10 more goals than any other Serie A team
70
right now.
goals, right?
70
something?
goals.
It's
Lazio have
unbelievable.
60 and the
Yeah, I
rest
think they have
are
60.
a big drop down.
It's unbelievable. But with, again, I sound like a broken record because they keep saying, with the wage bill that they have, they shouldn't. If you look at all the
They're
terms,
defying the odds, man.
if people look on paper, they're like, oh, this team, they should never have more goals than Juventus that spent with Cristiano Ronaldo and all this
Inter.
money, than Inter that spent all this money, than any of these
Yeah.
teams.
Well, aren't you guys all the expert? You, your father,
not-
Peter,
I'm not
Mike.
expert.
not
I'm the
expert.
furthest
How
Just a
from
fan.
long? How many years I've been telling you that Gasparini, for me, is the best coach?
Yeah, but I don't think
In
you
Europe.
I don't think that even you would think that they'd have this many goals.
Forget about the goals.
That's a whole argument.
How many times I've been telling you guys?
Yeah, you did say it.
I've been saying that for the longest possible time. The guy knows it's an effortless game for them. All they do, they play a short game. You never see Atalanta stretched long. So Atalanta keeps he has
play
a
narrow,
consistency.
yeah.
They just come up with a group and they back up as a group. So it's just unbelievable. It reminds me the Sacchi, the AC Milan of Sacchi, with the only difference that they don't have the libero, and they don't do the offside as much as Sacchi used to do, because Sacchi used to make them practice the offside like a religion. As long as somebody else had the ball, the opponent of AC Milan had the ball, Baresi would just call everybody up. You'll see 99% of the time the offside of AC Milan working. No, Gasparini is doing something slightly different, but in a way, the way that the team they play attacking the ball handler or double up with the ball handler, anytime that Atalanta doesn't have the ball, you count to 5 or 6.
They won it back.
They already
right away.
want to back the ball.
Who attacked more though? This Atalanta or Sacchi's Milan?
Sacchi.
They attacked more.
Oh my God.
Really?
It was an attacking
well, they
machine.
had a lot better players though.
Well-
that's to be said.
Well,
They had some
a
of the
lot-
best players
Well,
out there.
But before we got those some of the best players, they were sort of not unknown, but almost
not to the
almost
level
unknown.
of Atalanta.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to the level of Atalanta.
But this is the reasons why I'm
Yeah,
telling
exactly.
you that the greatness
Exactly.
of Gasperini
I agree.
should be more enhanced because of the
I agree.
the less people they don't even know what they're watching over there.
Exactly.
We have Derun. Derun is
he's
it's
our boy.
unbelievable.
They don't actually play as a center back too.
He's such a
Derun.
versatile
Yeah,
player.
he can play
Derun
anywhere.
can play any position. It's like It's like an Energizer bunny. Even if when you kill him, the guy gets up and then
he's got an IQ. He's got a great IQ. In the Champions League match,
very smart.
That was one of the greatest. He was the greatest player on the
He
field.
was reading all the
and
passes.
The thing is about De Roon is that he does the work. You notice De Roon when he's not playing because he does so much work for the team outside. You know, there's so many tackles that go into it, simple plays that allow all the players around him to do better. And even in the Champions League match, he dropped back as a center back at one point. It's very hard to be able to play a center back position, a CDM, and all this kind of things, and be very smart.
Do you think
at it.
Gasperini tells them? No, those people, they know how to read the game.
Well,
they
sure.
know they practice.
It's a little bit of both,
and they know
too.
how to read the game. Gasperini might tell them, listen, you see the empty space over there? Where is your position? Where is not your position? Go fill up the gap over
It all
there.
works.
It just works all the time. It's a machine.
Works.
It's an
It is.
old machine.
And what's crazy is that they lose so many players every year.
Yeah.
They're constantly picked apart by the big teams. Look how many players that Milan and Juve have taken for them over the years. But it's like, okay, we'll pop this guy in. Hey, beautiful. I mean, they have Hateboer, Freuler, all these players, Malinovsky, that could come in, and they give even more when they're there. And I think the key is in the unity of all the players. Nobody feels like a superstar.
Or even the bench player. Look at that. Muriel can come at any
They all
time and
have
just does
each other's
damage.
back, yeah,
Man,
and they have a very good bench too for a team that's competing for three fronts like we're talking
the goal
about.
from Ilicic.
We know, we know Ilicic is like on a
That guy
different
in
planet.
football,
In
not
football
easy to
today, you
read.
don't see that.
That guy's
He
not easy
beat
to
three
read.
guys.
He's not easy to read.
He's a
Ilicic.
beautiful
He's
player.
unbelievable.
Zapata too, he got a hat trick today.
Unbelievable.
It's just amazing the plays you can get. You got Muriel that comes off the bench, he scores. Malinovsky comes off the bench, he scores a banger outside the box.
I love Atalanta.
It's just they play
They're a fun
such
team.
non-Italian football. He just recreates his own kind
Mike,
of football.
check the other
which is
results
incredible.
and let us know
And by
where
the
we're
way,
going.
we were talking about Atalanta and Derun. We have the shirts, Derun shirts
That's
signed by
right.
all the Atalanta players over here,
Yes.
including the coach.
These are our boys.
And
Ricarda.
Ricarda, she's Derun's wife. She's one of the, she's our fan. Hey, Ricarda, how are you?
Only Antonio's
Oh yeah,
fan.
she loves you the most. She said.
Oh,
So
yeah.
She only watch the podcast. 'cause
Thank you. Ricarda, you are in New York or in Brooklyn, you call us, we take you to dinner, to lunch, and then to the podcast. And,
Dinner and lunch?
It's all done. It's all done. It's all,
Perfect.
all you have to do, just tell us like an hour before we drop everything. Okay?
If she tells you 30 minutes before, you're going to
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
I'm stuck
Mike,
with
let
that.
us know where we're going to next.
Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to say. Shit, I forgot. Blank. I don't remember what I was going to say. Where are we going to next,
Let's go
Mike?
with the games.
Well, how many games did we play? I mean, this was I saw Lazio
Okay, we
yesterday,
can go-
spectacular game.
Lazio?
Lazio played Bologna. They won 2-0. This was a strange game because Bologna got two goals, but they were both ruled from VAR. They're both taken away.
They looked
so,
good.
So I was nervous. Yeah, Lazio actually looked good. They were attacking the whole time, but Bologna had these counterattacks. And I was going for, I love Mihailovic and Bologna, but I was going for Lazio. I want to see a Scudetto race. So I was going extra hard for them. But Immobile,
I thought it was an easy Milan. Now it's already flipped to Lazio. Okay.
Immobile, he had an off night. He missed he could have had a hat trick, to be honest. But look, it goes to show they're capocannoniere. The Serie is capocannoniere. Even when they're off, they got other players that can score over here. So at the end of the day, they got the job done and they won 2-0. And they knew that if they get this win, they're going to be on top of the table. So they didn't let that stumble with them, and they got the job done. And that's it. They're first in the table.
You know
right
what?
now.
This was the game where I looked around. And I was like, this is really going to be Lazio's year, isn't it? But like with the goals going their way and just like everything, and legitimately, hit their shoulder and stuff. But it just feels like
Correa shoots the balls on a deflection, the ball goes in.
it's one of those years.
The guy
where it's
cannot
just-
even walk. He scores the goal. What's his name?
Who?
The midfielders of Lazio.
Who?
It was
Savic?
it was injured. No, not Savic. The number 10, Lazio number 10.
Oh, Luis Alberto.
Luis Alberto. He was almost
he
been
came
taken
off,
out. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
boom,
It
he
just
scores
feels
the goal.
like feels like everything, like the world is in
The
Lazio's
thing is, when it
favor.
was 1-0, Bologna had a crazy
Oh, yeah.
chance. Strakosha saved it, and on that same play, Correa scored on the second one. And when that happened, I was like, everything is clicking for these
Listen,
guys.
they are in first place right now.
They're-
Lazio are in first place.
They currently have the best unbeaten streak in Europe since Liverpool lost with 21 games in a row with
Unbeaten.
without losing.
Listen,
So,
this team they're fun.
They're special.
I mean, again, we sound so like a broken record, but the most important thing and the thing that we kept saying this season was, can Lazio be consistent? They're proving that they can.
are.
That was our question mark. That was our only question
I was
mark.
going for them so hard last season. They got me annoyed because they were inconsistent. And this season, I put them outside of Champions League, and now they're proving me wrong. But I'm loving the lot. This is the Lazio I want to see last season, and they're doing it this season.
I've said it before, and I got criticized for saying this. if Lazio wins the Scudetto, I'd
I'll
be
be
happy.
there. Yo,
I'd be so happy.
I'm putting on a Lazio jersey
It'll
and I'm
be-
going to Rome and I'm celebrating.
Okay, imagine how incredible that would
No,
be.
if Inzaghi will be coaching
Yo.
Inter, for example,
my
I will
God.
not really hate Inter as much as I hate them right now. But
Yo,
you know,
Rome would be on fire. How amazing would that
Wait,
be?
you know what's even crazier? You probably don't know this. Inzaghi, Simone
Oh, yeah.
Inzaghi is the coach of Lazio. He's first place in Serie A.
And his
Pippo
brother, yeah.
Inzaghi, coach of Benevento, first place in Serie B.
By like 20 points.
The Inzaghi brothers are literally dominating Serie A.
They're dominating
Guys,
Italy.
yes, they're a game in hand, but still.
Yeah, okay.
Still.
Whatever. They're still first. I don't know. If the season ends
crazy is
today,
that?
they're-
That's
they're
crazy.
losing.
I think this guy is panicking, even though he's smiling.
No,
No, I think he's
panicking.
praising them.
Listen,
Marco's
to be
rooting
honest,
for
I
Lazio
spoke
too.
with a UF fan. I don't remember his name that we were with today, who watches the podcast. And I asked him. I said, "Listen, as a UF fan, I said if I told you right now, sign that Juventus win the Champions League, Lazio win the Scudetto." He said, "Absolutely, I would sign for it. I would sign for it
But
too."
that's not a bad
No,
wager. You're making
no,
it seem like it
no,
is.
that's not true
Whoa,
at all.
Why is it not
That's
true?
Because I
Because
asked
what?
him the reverse question before.
What was the reverse question?
The reverse question was Inter to win the Scudetto, Juventus to win Champions League. Would you sign for it? And he said no.
Nobody wants Inter to win.
That's why.
That's
That was
like-
the point.
But you guys are bitter rivals, so it's not
Exactly.
that crazy.
It is, but that's just the
I don't think
point.
it's that crazy.
That it's also like a lot of like even if you want to win, and I'm not saying Juventus fans you want Lazio to win. I'm just saying that you can appreciate a team like Lazio who's competing for the Scudetto.
Exactly, 100%.
And at least me as a Serie A
you
fan, I love
You
it.
have to respect that.
I love it.
But listen, one thing that I
we're
have to
going to
say.
next.
One thing that I have to say, Inter keeps spending all of this money.
Yeah.
They are crazed up. I think that those are just on steroids. So what they do, they keep spending money. They throw money at this guy, that guy, that guy. They want to take everything. By doing that, they think that they're going to take the competition away. They said, if we get those players, even if we
They
see
didn't
them
get
on
that
the
many
bench,
players. Yo,
they got
I
plenty.
feel like I got to be Peter right now.
They got plenty. They
I'm
got
in the middle of the
plenty.
Peter
They got
seat.
plenty of players. So what
They
they
do
do,
have a-
they
yeah.
just they take some as many as they can. Even if they have to sit them on the bench because they don't want somebody else to take them. So meanwhile, they have Esposito. They have a few other very young talent that they sit on the bench. And those people, if you really give them a little chance, all you need is somebody to break. Look, on AC Milan, now we're signing the new defender. It's a young kid.
Gabbia?
Gabbia, yeah.
Okay,
Give him a
Gabbia.
better-
now.
He had a good month.
Okay, he's 20 years old. One more. This guy's not. He's gonna settle for panino and mortadella. You know, he's not gonna get him paid a lot of money. But
Have you ever had a panino mortadella in Milano?
oh yeah. So what I'm
I
saying,
like to get paid in that.
that's what they call it. The young kids in Milano, by the way, they call it paninari. So in other words,
really?
they like the panini.
Yeah.
They're not into pasta, spaghetti, and all the stuff. They call it paninari. So
Hey, listen, when we lived in Milano, €3 for
Yeah.
panino.
You
Anything
see?
you want
Oh
on
my
it.
God.
You could
Oh,
put double
boy.
meat. You could do anything.
so what
It's amazing.
You gotta know the spot though.
Yeah, you gotta know.
You
the
gotta-
spot.
it was like you
Milan,
gotta
we'll
go
give
through three
you the
tunnels to
plug.
get that.
AC Milan, Atalanta, Lazio. Those are the teams that they just bring the young kids and they throw them into the
AC
you know,
Milan?
AC Milan is always did. Calabria just
I wouldn't
was
say
brought in.
always.
Oh, Donnarumma, Calabria, Gabbia.
Conte, I guess. Well, he's not from the youth. He's from Atalanta.
The
Never
youths.
mind.
We have plenty of youths over there.
Yeah.
Now Maldini's son. Watch, Maldini's son is going to start to play.
Let him start playing.
This is a
Watch.
stretch of an argument.
Yeah, that is.
You watch.
He's
What do you
really
mean stretch of
stretching.
argument? Because his father is the coach. I heard that the younger
he's not
kid,
starter.
the younger
He doesn't
Maldini's
play.
kid
He's on
is
the
even.
bench.
Yeah, I know. What do you mean he's not on the bench? Because
I
he's
said
been playing.
on the
He's on
bench.
the bench.
He's not a
He doesn't
starter.
play. He doesn't play. But he doesn't get minutes.
You can't really compare
Doesn't
it
get
to. You
minutes.
can't compare it to.
But the simple fact that they say convocato, you are on the lineup on the list of
Yeah,
the
but
people
Esposito
playing.
is called up too for Inter.
Yeah, but
He barely plays too.
what
He
happened?
plays
with-
more than Maldini.
I know that he plays more Maldini, but what happened with his coach? Is his coach is the one to be blamed? You know.
I mean,
Okay.
Let's
If
move on.
Esposito was non Italian, believe me, that guy would be playing every game.
Roma beat Cagliari 4-3, right? Wow. We
yeah,
missed
we can go to that.
this match.
I didn't
because
watch it at all. Why?
It was,
They
it
played
was
today?
during, it was during our party that we were sponsoring the event for, so
my
we couldn't
God.
get it, and they didn't have ESPN working.
That was in
at the
Cagliari or in
place.
Rome, the game.
It was in Sardinia and
It was
Cagliari.
in Sardinia. So it's hard for us to comment. I know Kalinic scored 2 goals.
Kalinic scored 2.
And,
Kluivert and Kolarov got one also. Well, Joao Pedro scored a penalty towards the end, and it was 4-3. There was like a few minutes of extra time left, so it was a little bit of a scare.
I know the Roma fans are very mad at us lately.
Why?
Because they say we don't show enough love. Even though my dad is a Roma fan,
Yeah.
he grew up a Roma fan. They saying that we're not showing them enough love. It was a strange situation where we're sponsoring this event, so we didn't get to see the match.
We love Roma.
But, so yeah.
Yeah, we don't like Juventus and Inter, but
This guy said
We love Roma. We'll take Roma, definitely.
It's just Roma right now is in a little patchy state, and it kind of sucks because they're bitter rivals. Lazio are doing extremely well.
I think that's
so
what
that
hurts
kind of
them even
adds
more.
to the fire.
100%.
But yo, every team has its up and down, so you just gotta wait it out like everyone else.
So for the record, if Roma was up, Mike would be very happy that Roma.
He used to be a Roma
I
fan.
used
He was
to-
an OG
Because
Roma
of
fan.
Manolas.
OG
Because
Roma
of
fan. Yeah,
Manolas.
exactly.
The first team I used to support was Roma.
Yeah. The first team.
So the least.
Because Manolas, when he
I know,
came
I
from
remember.
Olympiacos,
I remember.
I was rooting them hard.
In a couple of years, how many teams did you support? You switch.
Oh, you've gone to
We're gonna
like...
be here all day. Huh?
Oh,
Come
boy.
on, we're gonna start.
The list is too long.
What are we going to next?
Okay, let's go to the Napoli game. Napoli beat Torino 2-1. And speaking of Manolas from Roma, he scored the first goal. He has 3 goals this season. And let me
The guy
tell
makes it
you,
sound like it's 30 goals.
he's a center back.
Okay.
That's not his first. His
They're all
job's not
headers.
Anto. His job to score goals.
Yes.
It's only 3 goals.
Yes.
Relax.
He's a center back.
I know, but I understand. It's good, but yo, you're making it
I
seem
think he
like...
has more goals than most of Milan's
Ask him how many goals.
Oh, he has more goals than Ibra.
Ask him how many goals he's responsible for.
Okay.
That's good. That was good.
They beat Torino
Yeah.
2-1. Di Lorenzo scored. Then Torino got a goal at the end. Edera. But this was a scary one. Edera.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Italian lessons.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. They need the little pronunciations like in Greek. It'd be so much easier. But whatever. Moving on from
It
that
comes
point.
from the Greek word of what? Edera.
Edera?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought that every word comes from the Greek dictionary.
You put him on the spot and he can't figure it
I
out.
got you,
But
Mike.
Torino right now are doing horrible. Their past 7 games in all competitions, they lost every single game. 7 games,
Not just
7
Mazzarri.
straight losses. So yeah, it's not Mazzarri. This is new coach Longo.
But
I don't know.
Napoli is on a freaking
But
streak.
Napoli, they won their past 7 out of their 9 games in all competition. Gattuso's looking like the man over there.
I got a
He's
funny
doing
quote
good.
from him, too.
They brought in Gattuso as like a replacement till the summer. Yo, but if he keeps this up, he's gonna be there next season. That's all I'm gotta say. And without Koulibaly, their best player, they're doing great.
What's going on with this guy here?
He's
Koulibaly?
not fit. He's not
But
fit.
he's hurt or
Yeah,
something
he's
is
hurt.
not right with
He had
his
a
head?
calf injury. No, he's hurt. He's hurt. And he's not really having a good season
Gattuso
regardless.
after the match, he said, I want Napoli to be beautiful when we attack like Brad Pitt and ugly like me when we don't have the ball.
Ooh.
What an analogy, right?
Oh,
I love this guy. Hey, he's so funny.
How can you hate
He's so
Gattuso
funny.
though?
He's
like
so funny.
He's like a
There was so
I
much
don't
shit
know.
talked about
Mike,
Gattuso.
Gattuso, he played for AC Milan.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is
I'm
the
not
AC
saying
Milan
anything.
DNA. Okay,
I know. I just,
That you threw out
that
into the
we're
garbage.
injecting in
That
the-
you know he was your coach last year and you let him go.
I let him go.
Yeah, you let him go.
I
AC
never
Milan
let him go.
let him
To be fair, I don't actually really like
I
him.
never let him go.
I
I
know,
will
I'm
never
just
let him
saying,
go.
I
Not
don't
even
really
like
like
Cutrone and Gattuso. Those are the 2 players. I was not even crazy about Piontek. And you just don't. You can just go look at the tape.
Nah, I
Yeah,
don't
if
know
we go
about-
look at the tape.
Yeah, BS.
That's a little different. I think for Piontek, you liked him.
Anyway,
But
let's
everyone
talk
liked him. So.
Gattuso, I mean, there's been so much talked about him. I think all of us here said that he was the best coach for Napoli at the moment to take them until June. And then you'll see on the course of now or whenever they got him until June, you see what he did. You see what options you have for the next stage of Napoli. But listen, Lobotka looked really good.
Demme looks very
Some of these
good.
guys, like it's one of those things where everything's going, when everything's going right, they keep going
Exactly.
right. Everything's going
They were,
wrong, everything
they were
just
doing
keeps
bad
going
in the
wrong.
beginning, and they're like, "Oh man, it's not going to be good." But they grinded it out, and now they're doing well. He has
we're
the
gonna-
locker room. He loves everyone. Everyone has their back. He silenced Alan that wasn't training. He made it seem
That's
he's
true.
put his foot down and was like, "Listen, if you don't give 100%, I don't want you here." And now Alan's back. Now I'm sure he apologized.
by the
and all
way,
that stuff. And Napoli are
by the
banging
way.
in goals or winning.
By
the
the
way.
way, which when you abbreviated it, I just learned when you abbreviated
BTW.
BTW. I said, what the hell is this? So I learned another thing. So by the way, last podcast we were discussing AC Milan and Fiorentina, whether it was a penalty, whether it was not a penalty, and whether it was the goal of Ibrahimovic was a regular goal, was not a handball, was yes, no. Bottom line is, I was right.
How are you right?
For what? What you
I was
saying?
right.
We
There was
agreed
no
with
end
it.
ball.
We agreed.
There was no end ball, but everybody,
Peter
For
Peter
who?
was saying.
Peter said
But even
Peter
your-
said there was a handball on Ibrahimovic.
Oh,
was-
that one.
there was no
I said it
end-
was
yes.
harsh.
Yes.
That was no
There
end
was
ball,
no
and
end.
there was no penalty.
Yeah. No, the penalty.
What penalty?
What else we got to discuss?
What penalty?
What penalty?
There was.
But bottom
Anyway,
line,
wait. How are you saying you're right?
what
now?
I'm saying is that AC Milan right now will have an extra 2 points, and
What does that have to do with this?
he has to do it because we want to just try to connect with what we left last week. and then try to bring this thing here. And now AC Milan will be just 1 point behind Napoli. Now we are 3 points behind. We're a game less still, but we still wanted to finish. We're still fighting and contending, you know, the position to be on the UEFA League, on Europa League. With
Well, Europa
Napoli.
League, yeah.
I think they could do Europa League, but Champions League.
Anything
still.
else?
Yeah,
Because I want to go to Champions League after.
That's what I was gonna move.
Oh,
to.
that's where you're gonna move.
But,
No other games. No,
the other games we did the
storyline that we
rest.
missed?
Then I was just gonna go to Europe for Europa League draws. Then Champions League with
Yeah,
Juventus.
Champions League. Napoli, since we just talked about Napoli, tied with Barcelona in Naples, 1-1, and a match that, to be honest with you, Napoli had the better chances.
Napoli had the better chances. They should have won. I'm gonna say. I mean, Barca had one chance. It was a mess up, and they scored. Callejon had a chance. He should have scored.
I see it in my nightmares that Callejon
Yo,
missed.
Callejon, dude.
I see it in my nightmares.
How the hell you missed that?
Why'd you,
Mike?
man.
You're not a good player. You could have betted that one.
I respect that. Callejon, come on, man. You had one job, dude, in front of the net.
You need
But
guys
you know
with
what?
cojones
I
over
got a
there.
stiff neck watching Barcelona, left to right, left to right.
But,
okay?
yo, they
Left
they
to
had the
right, left to
possession.
right, Left to right. Give me a break. This tiki-taka is not. This is not Guardiola. This is not Guardiola's Barcelona. And you don't have Iniesta. You don't have Xavi, and you don't have the best playmakers of Barcelona. Without those three guys, this tiki-taka that
So
they're
boring.
doing is very boring. Even Messi should have just snapped out and said, hey, listen, can just we play more?
Direct. But they did
Straight into the
nothing.
middle.
The
They
thing
were
is-
doing nothing.
no, but-
It's like passing just to
But
pass.
Napoli
Okay.
played. They clogged the midfield. They didn't let them move, and they pressured them. So they didn't let Barcelona do anything except that mistake.
And that's why you know you don't spend a lot of energy as you might think, you know, because if the teams that both stretched out
Yeah.
you to play attack
Yeah.
counter attack counter attack, then you get a lot more tired. But Napoli was nicely defending,
Well, it was-
not
the
struggling.
players were very close to each other. So
It was
they
a
didn't let them
detriment.
move.
It was a detriment to Barcelona by playing in their third quarter, third quarter of the pitch, because Napoli were just like, okay, we'll stay compact.
Exactly.
Whereas Barcelona needed Napoli to be on the attack so that they could exploit the spaces with some of their fast players, but they didn't do that. You were hilarious pissing off those Barcelona fans.
Oh, yeah?
That video,
Oh,
that
yeah,
guy got
that was
so
funny.
mad at you.
Really?
And you told them off. I like that.
Who's this guy?
The
here?
video
At
that
the
you sent
bar,
us
when
at
you're
the bar.
at the bar
The
that
Barcelona
you're
fan.
watching.
So which one got?
There was a guy that you weren't talking to him, and then he came into the video.
Oh, yeah,
And he
yeah.
started talking shit. I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah, what do you
You were
mean? You're in the
recording.
video.
You were in it.
Yeah, but I forgot.
You forgot?
And he got pissed off.
Yeah, he got annoyed. Like Loki, he got annoyed.
Oh, okay.
But I could tell that you were giving it back
Sorry,
to him.
man.
He was giving it back to him. You were like making fun of Messi, and you're like, Barcelona, they just keep doing
Yeah,
nothing.
that's true.
He
That's
was
true.
making excuses. I don't remember.
Guys-
he was like, oh, we were in Naples. He's like, we're gonna beat you. He said some stupid stuff.
At IFTV Antonio, if you want to see the video, Anto has his own IG account and he's going rampant.
I don't
on it,
even
so you
know
don't
that,
wanna
by
miss
the way. I don't even know because I
man.
hate social media, but just keep watching.
Yeah, exactly.
funny.
But I want to say Dries Mertens scored a beautiful goal outside the box. He actually tied with Marek Hamsik with 121 goals. He's currently tied with him with the most goals in Napoli's history. He needs one more to officially carve his name in Napoli's
I mean, he does
book
carve his
right
name,
now.
but
Yeah, I
he
know,
has
but
to
I'm
break
saying
it.
to break it and become the all-time top goal scorer.
And he's
in
likely
Napoli.
to renew with Napoli now.
Yeah,
Again,
that's right.
Once things start going good, it's like everything learns to follow.
It's a snowball effect.
Juventus lost to Lyon 1-0.
Ooh, I couldn't believe it.
Horrible.
First of all, on the podcast, everybody here said a win, and you were like, I don't know. Lyon could do it.
You're the
Lyon
only
could
one
do
that
it. So
said it.
you were not right because you didn't make an official prediction, but you did say Lyon could upset Juventus.
Okay.
That was one of the most disgraceful performances I saw from Juventus in a Champions League knockout match. I think that there was two players that played. I think De Ligt. Oh, I just gave them the camera the middle finger
doesn't
by
mean
mistake.
Yeah,
De Ligt-
by mistake.
And
by
Dybala,
mistake.
probably.
That was to you, Sarri.
And Ronaldo?
And Ronaldo. I think besides those two, Bonucci, the defense as a whole, Danilo,
Sandro.
What about Chiellini? Did he
and
play?
Bonucci. No, he didn't
No,
play.
he didn't.
They were a disaster. Lyon scored when De Ligt came off because he was
For
bleeding.
like a minute.
Bonucci was dead. Was dead. He had no.
And there was
he
bad
had
marking in the box.
Absolute zero composure in an important match. I know he keeps saying after the match, "Oh, we got to motivate our guys." Yeah, but you weren't concentrated. You yourself wasn't concentrated. The midfield again, an absolute disgrace of a midfield. There's actually a video I didn't send it to you. There's Ronaldo and Dybala talking in halftime. And Ronaldo's like, this midfield does nothing to help us. He's like, they don't pass us the
They said
ball.
we get no support from the midfield. We got to do it ourselves. Yeah.
It was Ronaldo
That's
and
pretty
his
Talking
crazy.
like that?
No,
or
he
was
wasn't.
Not even. Not even.
He was in the tunnel. And they were just talking.
They didn't. I don't think they
freely.
knew there was a camera there.
Yeah, they obviously
they didn't know there was a camera there.
So why don't you talk about Sarri, because he's the one.
But this is the scariest part. Sadi after the match said, "I don't know why, but these players are not listening to what I tell them to do." He's like, they don't understand how to move the ball quick that like I want.
Didn't he say the same thing in Chelsea? That do not understand.
They
But
said his
it's-
philosophy is not
It's
sticking with these players. Is what
the
he
scary
said.
thing is, it's 7 months. It's 7 months,
Yeah.
and these players cannot understand you. That's the scariest thing to me. We kept saying Ludovico came here, Peter with his mind games. Everybody kept saying,
You were watching the game over
they're
here?
you even.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait till they get
Yeah.
into this rhythm.
Yeah,
it's
wow.
7
Maybe
months.
then-
It's 7
I know,
months,
take it long.
and Juventus
Take it
look
long.
worse now than
He's
they
the-
did in October.
He's the maestro, right? According to
I just want
Ludovico.
to add a
One
scary
maestro.
stat in here. The whole 90 minutes, Juve couldn't even get a shot on target against
It was
Lyon.
disgraceful. It was.
They didn't
an
look
utter
hungry.
disgrace.
They didn't look like they want to do. It looked like a scrimmage on Juve's side.
a disgrace.
And Lyon could have been
Lyon-
up. They could have been up 2-0,
Yeah,
maybe
credit-
even 3. They had
Credit to
chances.
Lyon. Juventus were very, very lucky that it was only 1-0. And I think that, listen, it's an embarrassment all around. You cannot go, with all due respect to Lyon, Juventus is not a team that can go out in Champions League to Lyon. A team that's challenging for the Champions League, it would be an utter and complete failure
sure.
to go out of the Champions League in the first step.
So what do you think is going to happen for the game, the home game?
Number one, if Sadi gets knocked out of the next round, which I don't think so, I think Juventus will progress. I think that they need to maybe not follow exactly what he wants because it's not sticking, and I don't think he's ever going to see the Sadi ball with this
A
midfield.
2-1 Juventus will be a Juventus elimination, right?
Yeah.
So they win to 1-0, go to extra time or 2-0.
They would have to win. Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy,
And I think that if
boy,
Juventus
boy,
do
boy,
not
boy.
go through against Lyon, which again, I think that they should be able to go through even without this, Sadi is gone. I don't think that he'll last the end of the season.
Listen, Sarri is gone regardless
no,
of
no,
that.
but I'm saying, no, if he
You're
beats
saying
Lyon, he's
immediately.
not going to be sacked
Yeah,
right now.
Sarri is gone regardless of that, even if he wins the Champions League by any
Okay,
chance.
But I'm not saying in May. I'm saying that he will be sacked
Before
after
the
the match
season
against
ends.
Lyon.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Who do they have as a replacement?
Allegri is going to come back.
Get the
I think
hell
that.
out.
I think
Marco, no.
I think so.
So you think it's on the pipeline already?
If Sadi goes out in the first round, knockout rounds of the Champions League, I cannot see a situation where Juventus keep him.
So Allegri is going to come in to try to salvage the
salvage
season
rest
for
of
the campionato.
and
You
then,
say take the campionato.
and then they get somebody else. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Again, Juventus should be able to beat Lyon. The team is embarrassing. I don't even want to name names anymore because it's a disgrace.
What makes you talk like that? You think they put him on notice, or the management told him something?
I think for sure.
Whoa.
That's definitely one of their objectives.
I think for sure.
That's
it's
one
not
of
even.
them.
It can't even be saying it as an objective. You have to go. You got again. I don't want to be disrespectful to Lyon fans. Of all the draws, Manchester City, yeah, you got Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, yeah, you got Chelsea. You got Lyon.
Yeah.
You
No,
cannot
it's
go
true.
out
Wow,
against
wow, wow.
Lyon.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I
You
think Sadi
cannot-
knows himself. If he doesn't
you
go through,
cannot-
he's not going to stay.
Whatever way you want to put it, you cannot get knocked out. With all this money that's injected into this team, doesn't matter about the midfield. I don't even care at this point. Yes, the midfield's horrible, but even with that, there is zero hunger in the team. Zero hunger and zero
I don't
motivation.
see them.
Yeah,
You know, they're not motivated for this Sarri. Mike, how many points less Juventus has this year comparing to last year at the same...
That's a hard stat for him to
Oh,
just
that is
find right
hard.
now.
But they were. We actually found that stat a few weeks
like
ago.
7 points
and they
or
were
something.
behind too.
A couple.
But then again, they're strong.
kinda
The
skewed.
teams are stronger too, so it's a little bit different. There's more factors to it.
What else we got to talk about?
I think we hit everything. We hit all the
think there was
games. We
something
talked
else.
about Europe. Let me.
I have
see.
coronavirus,
Oh,
Napoli
the
time.
Europa League draws. Inter and Roma both went through. So Inter's playing Getafe from La Liga.
Not easy.
Yeah, they're actually
Not
having a very good
easy.
season. And Roma are actually playing Sevilla.
Ooh.
So two pretty tough draws. They're not easy. And yeah, both La Liga teams. They're playing La Liga. Atalanta's playing a La Liga team, and Napoli's playing a La Liga team. Juve's the only one that's playing.
We have one
not
other
La
piece
Liga.
of news.
What else?
Giuseppe Rossi, our friend,
Oh, that's right.
signed for Real Salt Lake for the MLS. Really cool.
Grande
IFTV.
Giuseppe, we love you. You remember that, right?
Pepito.
Pepito Rossi, baby.
IFTV, we're actually able to connect him to be being able to move this move. Peter, we
Peter.
connected him. You know, Giuseppe Rossi follows IFTV. His friends follow IFTV.
Good.
We ended up reaching out. We got him connected with Peter, who helped secure the deal for Real
Peter
Salt
is
Lake.
the Raiola of United States, by the way, guys.
So we're really happy. He ended up
Without hair, that's only different.
Without hair, you're right.
he ended up coming in. Giuseppe ended up coming in. So we're really happy. A guy that's I think he's the epitome of never giving up. The guy's been through more injuries.
He's a champion. Giuseppe Rossi is a champion.
Adversary
I can't believe it
than
that
most
they had to go
players.
through this nonsense, this stretch of bad luck and
4
people.
ACL tears.
And, oh
4
my
ACL.
God.
But
2
even
in each
after
knee.
that, you keep
4
playing
ACL tears.
Oh
and
my
proving
God,
everyone
that
wrong,
guy
and
still-
still
insane-
become a
how
professional
insane
player.
is that? How insane is that?
I'm telling you, this kid, I think, is going to prove it. He's going to prove it. All of those people that didn't believe on him wrong. I just hope so.
There's a lot. There's
And
a
I
lot to
wouldn't
that.
mind to watch him to come in to see him coming back and play for the Italian national league. Oh my God!
That'd be
please.
nice. Mancini's watching, right?
Listen, I think
yeah.
that MLS, they're sleeping on him a little bit because talent-wise, the guy's
One
in
of the
my-
most skillful,
in-
too.
No, not one of. In my opinion, he's the most talented player in the MLS.
Yeah.
The second that he steps there.
Too bad
His
nobody from New
physicality-
York signed him, the Red Bulls or
too bad.
New York City FC.
I know, we would've liked that.
This guy's got talent to sell, not just to MLS, to any in Europe, in England, in Spain. I don't understand what the hell is going on with this nonsense.
Yeah, I think talent-wise, again, you can't dispute it. Now we're just hoping to see him get back to full fitness. He hasn't played in a little while, so we're all rooting for him. Obviously, he's an Italian-American, even just being an Italian, and also just the story of never giving up and being through so many
So
hard times.
motivational.
It is. It's so amazing. So we're all rooting for
Yeah,
Giuseppe.
but he's just a nice person because,
Yeah, he
Giuseppe
is.
Rossi, we met him a couple of times at the Showdown for Chinatown over here. It's an
Yeah.
event, a fundraisers for the kids with Steve Nash and company. He's
a
such
really
a
good guy.
gentleman. He's such a nice guy. He's always available. He's taking pictures. He's signing autographs. He's talking to people. He's talking to strangers. He's someone that he feels like he's been your friends for the last
Exactly.
20 years.
Exactly, yeah.
So not only
Very
is a
down
good,
to earth.
not
He's
only
humble,
is a talented player, he's a great person. He's got it all. He's got all of the above. So Pepito, we just we're cheering you up, and then we're just waiting for you when you have some free times to come and have a little talk with us on the podcast.
Yeah, he's gonna come. He's gonna come.
So.
Yeah.
Forza Real Salt Lake, right, guys?
Yep.
We gotta go. We gotta go to Utah.
The same
Ooh,
way
that's
we have
nice.
this big sympathy for Fiorentina, except when he plays AC Milan, we have the big sympathy for Pepito, Giovanni Savarese. We have a lot of friends over here, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. No,
So,
like you said, Pepito. We run into a lot of players, but there's nobody like Pepito. Also because we probably relate to him because he's Italian American. He's in New Jersey, but New York, whatever.
Hey, he's got
Same kind of
talent.
stuff.
He's got talent. You know when they have the show on the TV, the Kids Got Talent or the
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent,
That's
whatever.
singing, though.
That's singing.
I'm sure
No,
he has
not
a
just
good voice. Oh,
America's
it's a
Got
bunch of
Talent,
stuff, right?
okay. Talent.
Okay.
So Pepito is.
You should go on America's Got Talent.
know.
What would you be? What would you do?
They're gonna
What would
taste
you
him off the
tell
stage.
Yours would be corny dad jokes.
No,
The broken arm.
Pepito's got talent.
Pepito's
okay?
got
That's
talent.
it. All
I
right?
like that. We
Yeah.
should probably make a graphic on
Hashtag,
that.
right?
Any good questions or that's it?
Yeah, we
We're
got
good?
a bunch of questions.
Okay.
I'll say a few.
Just give a couple.
Let's go quick.
Yeah.
Does Pioli deserve another year with Milan?
No,
Otto?
absolutely not.
Wow.
No.
Marco, no? Yeah, I don't know.
No.
It's kind of average. Do you think this Juve loss to Lyon is a wake-up call, or do you think they're going to keep...
It better be.
I think
Schlepping around.
Juventus has been woken up several times and they haven't taken any action. Just with Sarri because
You're right.
they
With
don't want
Lecce, with-
they don't want to embarrass themselves when they lost against Verona. I don't think they're capable because for PR reasons, for public relation reasons, they don't want to embarrass themselves as a team. Say, oh my God, look at that! They're in first place. They're fighting the coach. The coach is not a Juventus caliber, and I think he's overrated. I've been saying that for the longest time. The guy is overrated. All of these things, all of this, fantasy that people have, including my friend Ludovico that sits over there once in a while, he keeps saying the maestro. One maestro. He did not invent anything. If anything, if he was a real maestro, a maestro can play any orchestra. He can play in any city. And he can play the way the music is supposed to be played.
Well, PR-wise, he's definitely not Juventus. I mean, he said
No,
after the match.
absolutely
He said
not.
after the match, if we were in Italy, we'd have 2 penalties.
You see? You see?
He
Which
also
is-
said a couple other questionable things.
Yeah, he said a
too.
lot of questions.
I don't know.
But I'm not doubting Sarri. I just don't. I never thought that Sarri made sense for this Juve.
He doesn't have the
because
right
this
tools,
Juventus
dude.
is built. They need to win right now. And Sarri's is more a long-term project that needs players behind him and all this kind of stuff.
doesn't have the right
Whereas
players.
This Juventus.
What are you talking about?
He
Mike?
doesn't. His midfield is garbage compared to what he
Ah,
wants to
wait.
do. It
Don't make them
is.
good. Make them good.
Nah,
they have a
they're
lot
di-
of talent
they have
over there.
different
He
kinds.
doesn't know to just...
Juventus
he
and
doesn't
Sarri.
know.
Juventus and Sarri were a couple that never made sense, in my opinion, from the summer. If they're able to turn this around and change it, so be it. We'll see. I'm not that hopeful. I was never hopeful, but we'll see. We'll see. If
Okay,
he's able to
one,
pull it off.
doesn't
one
end.
last question.
Yes.
I just wait before you go ahead. I just hope he doesn't wind up on AC Milan, please, Lord.
What do you
That
mean?
would be
It'd be good
amazing.
for you guys.
That would be
No,
amazing.
no.
Okay,
I would
guys.
love that. Oh my
A
god.
hypothetical scenario: 90th minute, game tie 2-2. Your team just got a free kick outside the box. If you had to pick one player currently in Serie A or outside or retired or whoever, who you
Mihailovic.
picking? Oh, that's a good one.
You can't steal my answer.
I'll take Pirlo.
I was gonna say Pirlo. Mike.
Oh man, I'll
Mike,
go with
Beckham.
Ronaldinho. Oh, Beckham. Beckham's
No,
good too. I was gonna say
Pirlo.
Pirlo to be honest.
I'll take Pirlo.
Who'd you say?
I said Ronaldinho, but I'll go with Beckham. Beckham's not a bad second option either.
He's not a
So,
bad. I said Beckham because
sure.
of the Greece goal.
Or Giuseppe
Oh
Rossi.
my god, that's messed up. Bro.
Yeah, sorry.
man.
What about Pepito? I'll take Pepito too. Pepito is great.
Pepito?
Oh, yeah.
But it depends if it's on the right side or the left side.
Whatever.
Because he's a lefty.
He's a lefty, right? You're right.
Guys,
Okay.
as always, I think that we got to kick the other guys out of the podcast.
I think we got
it's
a,
so much
a
better
nice,
with
we
just
got a
us.
nice mojo going on over
As
here.
Antonio said, dead weight
The
gone.
other guys are bringing us down.
I never said dead weight. Oh, liar. What a liar.
You said worse.
I call them worse, but not dead weight. So, but anyway, guys, keep rating the podcast with 5 stars.
Yes.
Keep following us. We're here because of you guys. And believe me, we're not wearing the suits like we were wearing today at the party.
We had to rip those
Very
off.
uncomfortable. You know, we are natural into our own clothing. Whatever.
That's right.
You see what you get. You see what you get. We're not making anything up.
You get what you
We're
get,
not reading
right?
from the script. We don't have teleprompters in front of us. We just not fake. Just what you see is what you get. If you're a kid, keep doing well with school. Do the homework. Keep listening while we're doing the podcast, while you're doing the homework. Get your A's, right? And then keep checking the merchandise. Do we have any
There's
sales?
no sales, but at ItalianFootballTV.com. If you want to
Okay,
get
Check it
some.
out, yeah.
ItalianFootball.com. At the
Yeah,
bottom, you
it's
get
at
to
the
see
bottom,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
By the way, I went to an event, a newly family event, and they knew about the podcast. And they kept asking me about you, Anto.
Who did?
They wanted me to FaceTime.
They said,
and all the
thankfully you didn't
family.
come. I was like, good thing. I
They
was
wanted
scared
me
I
to-
was going to see Mark. I was going to see Antonio too.
They wanted me to FaceTime you, but it was late. I didn't want to FaceTime.
This guy doesn't sleep. You could have called him, right,
I
Anto?
was with some.
You're right, you're
with
right.
some- but I've gotten asked many times, constantly, is Antonio an actor? Because he's so crazy. And I always my answer is if you meet him in person, you'll realize that he's a calm version of himself on the podcast.
Yeah. I'm
it
not
true?
an actor. Yeah, ask my friends if I'm an actor.
You're just crazy, right? You're a
Yeah,
mental
I am
patient.
crazy.
Okay,
That's
that's,
what-
good though.
yeah, I
It's
am
good to be
But it's
crazy.
good. It's fun.
It's
My
better
wife
than
thinks
be boring, right?
My wife thinks I'm crazy too. So
That's fine. I think it's better.
you
You
know.
just accept it.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Till next week, Coppa Italia coming up, right?
What's that?
So-
Milan Juventus?
Milan Juventus.
Oh, boy.
So we're
And
gonna see
Inter
that.
Napoli.
It's
The second
Juventus
leg.
Milan actually.
luck.
No, don't give me that. No, that's
No.
bad. Good luck. No, I don't
No
believe in
Theo
good luck.
Hernandez or Rebic. Oh my
And no
God,
Zlatan.
the best
And no
players.
Zlatan.
Oh my God, game over. Don't
But
even
you
play
know
the
what?
don't
You wanna
even
make a
play
bet?
the-
You wanna
don't
make
even
a
play
bet?
the game.
My
Don't
wanna
even
make
play
a
the
bet?
My
game.
only hope is that we got Pioli, a loser, and we have another loser over there. We got Sarri. So let's see.
But
A
that,
negative
that
minus
loser has
11.
Ronaldo though. There's a big difference.
Ronaldo's gonna play.
I'm sure
Yo,
he
Coppa
is.
Italia.
You want to make a
Why
bet?
wouldn't he?
What do you want to bet?
No, don't
Nah, I
bet
feel
on
bad for
Anto.
you.
What do you? Why? Yo, the
gonna-
best players out. What are you gonna
I feel
do?
bad for you.
We're gonna take Mike to Blue Doors. That's that.
You guys owe me and Peter.
We already got you guys.
No,
Yo,
yeah.
today I handed him a coffee. That's
No,
good enough,
no.
right?
Oh yeah.
You guys lost the
Oh, we have
bet
to
for
wear
the
the Inter.
derby.
We have to wear the Inter
For the
jersey.
derby. You guys
What
lost the
derby?
derby.
You don't even
Derby.
deserve McDonald's. You said McDonald's?
Yeah.
When you were down to nothing,
Yeah.
that's a
We're getting
McDonald's.
steak.
Dollar menu.
Oh,
Dollar
yeah.
menu.
We're getting steak.
Dollar menu.
Oh, man.
McDonald's got good steaks, I heard. Anyway, guys, as always, we'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, guys. And Forza Lazio. Renato.
Yeah, you're right.